Well, there's the morning, and those rippled clouds like that, they just keep going straight that way through there. Weatherman lied. Well, they've been saying 33, 34, 35 degrees every morning. Until this morning. This morning was only supposed to be 34. 26. I think you're off a little. And I did not go around by the feed barn because I did not want anybody to tell the cows to get out, because I don't know, whatever little bit of hay is left in there, I want them to get eaten up, and we can get the junk out of the bottom of the feeders. Yes, I remember where I was now. I was here. I'm not going to clean the hole up in that. It's wobbled nicely for what I'm going to do, I think, because I can weld a good share on the inside and should be able to get quite a bit through that hole. Should make it so it'll hold without having to screw around much. Ideally would be drill this hole out, and this piece would have been almost a ½ inch longer and chamfered on the edges and welded in. That way it is actually in the hole, secured this way so it can't move. But done a lot of them this way. I'm doing this one, so get my butt started on it, get it done, while the dogs lounge around on their nice easygoing Sunday. Poor Blue, those beds got washed and that one's all bunched up inside. That seems to be the one everybody wants now. I don't know. I don't get it. I ain't gonna lay on it. Well, after about half an hour of messing around, it's in there. Oh, and look who decided she's gonna join the bank in here again. One thing I like about these, and the drawback to a flat disc, is it never gets smaller, so you can't get into tight spaces, and you can't use the back side. But get this in there this way, because you can get in further because you don't have the head in the way this way, versus this way the head hits. Got in there and knocked the roll off the inside and part of that seam, and then I just chamfered the other sides here on the bushing, so that it would force its way past the roll. And then I had it almost there, and almost there, and almost there, and almost there, and almost there. When I'd look through it, I couldn't see through clearly. Finally, it gets, oh, I must have a burr on this. Yeah, there's a burr right there, hanging up. It's going in, but I mean, that's it. All it has to do is go through from one side, because right there is all it'll ever be. So now I'm going to try to get a couple of tacks on the inside, top and bottom on each side. I'll make sure this still goes through. Really doesn't matter, because I can run a 7/8 drill through that later. It's just one of those things when you got a little weld in the way, make sure the bit's sharp and go real slow. And I want to try to get a little weld like here, which I know is going to interfere there. And if I can keep it in there tight, might be able to just file it. Otherwise, might be the die grinder. Otherwise, the drill. Like I said, I'm hoping to get a little in there. That's kind of where using a TIG would be handy. Yeah, but I haven't dug that out and learned how to use it yet. But if I can't get in there and weld it, no big deal, because I'll get more than enough weld inside. Because, I mean, I can get just about as far as you can see back, top and bottom. So, I'm going to make some sparks. There it is. I got welded just beyond where you can see. Looks like it lipped a little on that one, but I'm not going to go back on it. And yeah, hey, there's still a bolt in that hole. It's not the same one though. When I tacked it, I got a dingle ball up on the threads and I couldn't run it in to get it out of the way, so that's just a short one. Always a good idea if you got a threaded hole, have something in it. That way you don't put a dingle ball in it and mess up your threads. And I'm not going to even bother trying. There's just not enough ledge anywhere to get in there. And while I'm here, where this rode on the bolt, looks to be a little warm, that was worn down over halfway through the tube. Everybody's got to make noise at the same time, wouldn't you not? So, only reason my phone's on making any noise is because I'm welding it sitting over in the corner. That's a piece of AR I'm going to put over that. Now that should never wear out. If anything wears out, it'll be the bushing and the bolt. And I got to think about it. That's the bottom, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, whichever side it is. I guess that's the top. No, it is the bottom. They carry it quite a bit, apparently. The reason I know it's the bottom is the factory kept the weld down. It's just flush right there. Maybe they did actually grind it. I ground the top because the weld was sticking up. So anyway, I'm going to glue that on, and I don't think I got any paint close to that color, but we'll find something, throw on it so it don't rust any worse. And I need to go put my other piece of AR away. It's always handy to have some hard material. And then we'll slide her together. It should be done. Well, other than getting the rest of the junk off the top of here, it's ready. Let some paint dry. I was nice. I then said, well, you know, you should do something about all that. I mean, it ain't bad enough out here to worry about, but a couple pretty good patches here were rusted and starting to pit in a little. So, there it is. That dang little wheel's heavy too, but it's in there and it's full of grease. It's pretty sloppy, but they didn't make them with bushings, so it is what it is. Yeah, see, we just slopped the grease out, but it didn't want to turn when we brought it in. I mean, it turned, but not freely. And I got this in here and got to looking, and I made sure I had room to put that piece of AR on the bottom. And I didn't know if I wasn't going to do anything on top. And it's got so much freaking room to slop around. And there's still a gap there, except for where the paint's bridging it. I just threw that piece in there, just a piece of scrap. And that went together right. That's the only bolt I got long enough without having one that's way too long. So it's tight, it ain't going anywhere. So next thing is, as soon as Ty's done cleaning barn, so we can put the pallet forks on, because I'm not going to sling it like I did on the bucket. I can put the pallet forks on and come up underneath it and throw a chain from here to the top of the fork rack, just to make sure. Then get it on the ground and let him know that it's ready. So, yay, one job done. And before lunch even. And she's done with the feed barn, because I hear her working on the 2-year-old's pen now. I don't know if she's behind the wall here where we can't see her, or she's headed out to the manure storage. Either way, she got started on that, so she might, if that goes smooth, she might get that done before lunch. Then we'll see what the day brings. I'm not sure why she's shoveling that part, because you can go right up to the wall with a skid steer and pick it almost perfectly clean. Oh well, she's the one doing it. The part where Red's standing there, you can't get in there very well, and I know she was going to shovel that, so she's probably just finishing up that way. That's fine. Kind of looks like she might have that done before lunch. The bad thing about having to go through here is you dribble. Hopefully she remembers to scrape it off. Usually I end up jumping on the loader while she's tying her feeder back up and do this for her because she doesn't. I don't want to walk through that all week or 2 weeks, you know, if we're lucky and it stays dry. But I figured I'd bring you over here. She's been going in and out both these holes, so this just needs to get re-scraped a little. You think? And she doesn't get everything quite as good as I do, but you know, just what it is. Gives me a chance to do other things. You know, like a chunk there, that'll still be somewhere. Those probably will too. And I'm guessing she didn't open all the gates. I usually open all the gates. Otherwise, you do that to the gate. I did that about 30 years ago with a tractor and a blade. I didn't want to go to that gate, and this gets really slick. I hit the brakes, and it kept going. And tomorrow, she says she's going to clean the calf barn. She's done it before from down below. She got to come through where those cows are standing, clear over to where those calves are standing, and everything sticks out of there we'll put against the wall. But I told her before she starts that, get in here and move some of this against the wall so we got more room on this side. I mean, I can push it clear out there if it's got enough hay mixed in it and you don't have too much really wet stuff. It'll bridge and it'll actually support the loader, and I've driven clear out to the wall before. But you can also get part way out there and sink it, and that's where you're at. I don't want to do that either. So, anyway, now she's texting me. She wants something. I knew she could do it. She just wasn't sure about doing it. She's gonna set that down below over here, and then she'll probably put the bucket back on. She wants to move that manure over tonight, so she's got more time tomorrow today. She's got more time tomorrow to get the feed barn and maternity pen cleaned up, which is probably a really good idea because that's about a day job to begin with. But that's all done. It's sitting outside. We're gonna grab some lunch. She had to quit moving manure. This is 511C. 511C's been bagged up for 2 or 3 days, pretty good. 511C had a string that obviously she doesn't like the smell of. It was not just mucus. That string is actually some stuff there. So we're gonna guess that the placenta is coming loose. But hey, as soon as she stuck her hand in, she found 2 hooves in the head.
It took me a second, but
although
calf's head's over.
Yeah, calf's head's there. Hooves are hopefully below that. Well, out from it and under. Anyway, she got a good hold of what's hanging there, and it's got a funk to it. So it's not how we need to start calving season. Yeah, live calf, that's what counts. Well, live so far. It better be live when it hits the ground. So anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Bring you back when we're done.
Big push.
Took a minute to get the chains on.
Big push.
Calf don't look that big, but
come on.
See the blood on it? That's from the placenta. Because the placenta ain't in good shape. Don't know why. And what do we have?
A girl.
Got a baby girl.
Not a sissy.
Tickle her nose, get her breathing. Get her tickled. That's the best thing to do. Tickle their nose, and they'll do a little inhale and they'll cough.
Good girl.
Now, the fun part.
Has a lot of blood.
Getting the halter off of her.
Just untie her, Dad, and let her.
So, fun times. We'll try to keep them in the lockups till we're ready to get serious about it. Because if they're in there, they're not moving as far. And then before we actually pull, in case Mama goes down, we'll let them out of the lockups, and they're just on the halter so they don't take off and and run us over. She says this one's on time. That's better than what they got up at their place, huh?
Give me another good cough.
So, where's your sister at, kid?
Right here.
Oh, that one right there, looking. That's last year's sister.
That's Sassy.
Yeah, that'd be Sassy.
She's trying to say hello. Oh, you moo at me.
I know, y'all, it's going to be way too long of a video. And I'm being very trusting, but Rainy's standing there guarding the gate. Well, hello, baby. Yeah, I said hello. I still had a hold of a chain, and only the nose was starting to stick out. How you doing, baby?
See, I got pigment.
Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, a little bit of pigment. Mama's got a little bit.
Hi. What do you think, bro?
Good, Mama. So, there it is. The seal is broken. Calving season 2023 has begun. And I'll tell you something. This is one of those cows that, for some dumb reason, she sticks in my head every year. I like her. She has a good calf every year. Well, you already seen Sassy over there, wherever she's hiding now. She disappeared.
Right here.
Oh, right there.
She's got the funky hairdo on top.
Yep. The Frankenstein hairdo. She's always put out good calves, whether it's a bull calf or a heifer calf. So. Anyway, I'm going to call this the end of the video for everybody, because I know we got to be like at 17 or 18 minutes with everything I shoved in it today. So thank you all for watching. Hope you've had a good weekend, and hope everybody has a great Monday. I guess that's all you're going to get out of her.
Yay.